Good day. It's a wonderful day. It's Dr. K speaking. Thank you all for being part of this journey. It's a wonderful thing that we are in this journey together. Today is day 16 of the program, and we are talking about divorce. We thank God for this journey. Thank God for using me. Let the words that I will speak not come from me. Let it come from God, for I'm just a vessel. Without Him, I'm nobody. Today, we shall talk about gambling addiction. You see, gambling is something that, especially youths nowadays, they are into it. You have some parents who are into gambling. They go to gambling thinking that they are going to get wealth, because the Bible makes us to understand that you should be careful with money, that money is the root of all evil. But most often we do not understand. You see, gambling is a very attractive thing. And most often, people feel that they will get more by providing a little. You see, gambling companies are there to make profit. Somebody might win today, but for the one person that won, thousands lose. Most often people go there with a mindset of, today is my winning day. But I want us to understand that it's a circle. And when you start, it's almost impossible to leave. It becomes an addiction. And it's not an easy thing to leave an addiction. Now, as I always do, I've had sessions dealing with gambling addiction. But I choose this to talk about it because it concerns a child. And there's also another element that adds to it, death. Because grief is something difficult for some people to handle. And everyone has his own way of handling grief. And this one is also peculiar because you have a family that had only a son. The father was extreme. In fact, they were wealthy. The family had enormous wealth. So you could imagine they pampered their son. But again, the father was a philanthropist. And being a philanthropist, he has helped a lot of people. He donated for widows, widowers, orphans. He has scholarships. God blessed him, and he recognized the fact that God blessed him. But the cruel hand of death took him away. When the son was also big, the son was already matured, about 23 years old. But remember, the son has been pampered. And also think about it this way. The mother had only that child. And you know, mothers are always attached to their children, especially their sons. So she was very attached to the son. And the mother was so close to the husband who died. So after the death of the man, it was not easy for the family. It was difficult. Very difficult for the woman. How would she come out and protect the philanthropic things that they were doing together? It was not an easy thing. It was really difficult. So she needed her son to be by her side. But that son had an issue. The death of the father was so devastating to him. And because the death of the father was so devastating, he could not handle himself. He resorted in drinking. But he realized that alcohol was not good for him, because the moment he takes alcohol, he's gone. And his head aches and many other things. The after effect was severe on him. So he knew that he could not do that. But he wanted something to distract himself, because he was seeing grief. To deal with grief, the loss of his father was everything to him. He knew only the father. They were not close to uncles or aunts since they grew abroad. So it was difficult for him. So at one point in time, the guy was introduced by friends. They started gambling. So he knew that gambling became something without pain to him. He did not have pain in gambling, unlike the alcohol that he takes. So because there was no pain, he took that route, that gambling is the best option for him. So we leave, he stopped, he was doing nothing. He had already graduated from the university, yes, but he was supposed to continue. All of a sudden, he abandoned. He was going to school that he's doing his master's program. He left it. He's going to school, go with friends, and all they do is to gamble. Good enough, he realized his limitations. So alcohol or the other drug substances did not suit him. So he knew that gambling was a soft option. And because the mother cares about him a lot, the mother provides. The mother knew that he's the next of kin. So he had access to money. And he knew that his father had a lot of money. So he started doing what he's doing. So it has not been easy for that guy until he became addicted. Now, you have people around, because they are already relocated to Africa, people around, they came, they told the mother that the places that they are seeing their son, her son, is not good. The mother refused to believe. Family will come, they will talk to the mother. Friends will come, they will talk to the mother. In fact, the moment you say anything about the son, you became the enemy. You became an enemy. So that enmity was too much. So finally, the mother was left alone. And nobody talked or nobody said anything. You know, back in sub-Saharan Africa, if somebody is doing something which is wrong, instantly, the neighbors or friends, they will make sure they tell you. They'll come to the parents and speak to them. But this woman never accepted anybody, refused to listen to anyone. So the guy had a free way. He was there with his thing. But something happened along the line. He left home one day and he wasn't in there. He came back after 3 days. The mother could not think of what is happening. And all of a sudden, the mother received a letter. That letter was from a gambling company. The guy has been gambling, and the guy did not have money to pay his gambling debts. So a letter came, and they were threatening to take the woman to court, to take the son to court. That is when the woman knew that all what she has been protecting is going down the drain. So because of that, the woman had no option but to look for a solution. Remember, she cannot meet any other person because they told her and she refused to listen. So she decided that let her meet a counselor. That is when I was contacted. And I started talking to the woman. The woman told me the situation about the debts. But I told her that call the lawyer of the gambling company, meet them, have a meeting with them, and arrange for settlement. It's death. Debt, they won't take you to prison if you accept it and you make a plan of payment. So that is actually what she went. She said, okay, she'll go and do it. Make a payment plan for at least 3 years, which is better when you do that. So she accepted. You know, when she accepted, she left. I said, I'll contact your son. So I called the son and we had a discussion. That is when I knew that the son has a problem. And that addiction that the son has now, the gambling addiction, is because of the grief of the loss of the father. He had nobody to talk to. He had no one to be with. So, what did he do? He could not do anything. He could not talk to the mother. Because according to him, he also knew the mother is grieving. So the mother is also in pain. He never wanted to disturb the mother. Then I asked him a question. I said, your father worked so hard. You are saying that your father had money, and now you are using all the money. And your woman is complaining. What do you do? What do you do? Your mother will die. Because now she cannot sleep. Now she's having health issues. Because of the direction that you have taken. You are so selfish. You are thinking only about yourself. But you forget about your mother. What about those widows? The orphans? Those people your father offers scholarship to? They depend on your family. Your father made that as a legacy. But what are you doing? Is that the way that you have to move on with your life? Look at what you're doing. You ruin everything. But you can still salvage a lot of these things. So I told him that I've told the mother to arrange a way to do the payments for his gambling, but he needs to stop. I made him to understand that because according to the young man, he said the father had a lot of money, but money could not keep him. So money is nothing. So let him just use the money. He doesn't care. Then I asked him, true, what you are saying, that the father had money, but money could not keep him. But look at you. The other heads and every other thing that your father did with the money. Did your father just have to take that money and squander it like that? Your father helped others. So what do you have to give back to society? What's the legacy of your father? As a man, you are the only son. Soon, your mother will also die. Because your attitude will kill your mother. And what do you expect? What will become of your own life? They had you as a child. Don't you think of having a family or having a child too? You see, it was difficult for the young man. But the young man needed somebody to talk to. Remember, his gambling addiction came because of grief. There is always a starting point. Addiction don't just come from a blue. It comes from a singular decision to do something. And that one will always affect the family. This case is a child. But think about if it's a husband. think about is your wife. You see, it breaks everything. Everything. Destroy everything. I also want women to understand this. The love of a mother is not tied to giving or accepting whatsoever the child demands, the child wants. It's not tied to that. Sometimes we create these little monsters. I call it in quotes. We create them by accepting every single thing that they ask from us. We make them feel that life is so sweet and so easy. You do not even tell them about their struggles, where you came from. We do not. All what you know is, I suffered in my life and my children will not suffer. But where you are today, you are succeeding because of that suffering. You are succeeding because of that hardship. But we want to give every single thing to our children, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing. But then you have to think deep. I have friends that cannot do anything, cannot take care of themselves. Most of them are in one form of addiction or other. Why? Because their parents had everything. But you see, there must be boundaries. There must be boundaries. It's not every time your child asks something and you give. And you need to understand this Ubuntu way, they call it in South Africa, the togetherness that we share in an African culture, where we take care of every sibling as our own. Now that culture is getting extinct. Why? Now, if you find a child doing something wrong and you punish that child, the parents will rush immediately and attack you. It is my child, you don't have to do this. But it was not like that when my generation were growing up. You cannot do anything. You go somewhere and somebody sees you a cigarette or see you disrespecting an elderly person, they discipline you instantly. You go home and talk to your parents will add the punishment and tell you not to disrespect people. But nowadays, what do? All what we do is to protect our children. What we think is protection. That is why it's hard. Some, they make them next of kings. What do? They will sell every single thing that their parents have left. Their mothers will not even have something to eat. But because they are the sole owner of the property, government have given them rights. They are the next of kings. Everything has been transferred to their name, becomes their property. They sell it without even thinking about their brothers or sisters. All these things are going because of the way we treat our children. This lady went back, met the gambling company as I advised, and they did everything. And they accepted a 3-year payment plan. But when I spoke to that young man, the young man went and met the mother. And I asked him to go and apologize. Try to change and make things better. The society looks up to their family for lots of things. You cannot just kill yourself because of this. You have to be a man. The guy finally, by the grace of God, because he had a foundation which was very good. He had a Christian foundation that was founded with love. And when he went home, he saw the mother crying. He was devastated. At one point in time, God helped. You see, there are lots of things that we need to know and we need to understand. Thank you, Maureen. That's a good one. You're welcome. Ruka, you're welcome. Thank you. Grandfriend Eta. You're welcome. Linus. Wow, long time. You're welcome. Sometimes we fail to look at the friends our children keep. We don't have time. Friends do manipulate them. Remember, this young man was taken to gambling by a friend, by bad friends. We have to look at the friends they keep. It is not an easy thing to be a parent. That is why I always say it's more difficult for single ladies, especially where the fathers are absent. That's why I always tell them, if the father wants to be present, please give that father access, because you cannot handle it. Women are emotional. Men are for discipline. That's the rule of a father. Sometimes when you grow up, when we just hear the sound that our father is coming, all of us, we run, nobody sits in the parlor anymore. Either you're in the parlor, you are holding your book, pretend that you are reading. But the truth is, children, they are afraid of their fathers. Nowadays, the mothers nowadays, they will tell you that children are supposed to respect you. They are not supposed to be afraid of you. No. In my time, we were afraid of our father. And that mold us to be who we are today. We're afraid of them. Because of that fear, there are lots of things that we could not do. Could you believe, I'll give an example, which is personal. Could you believe that I'll leave and go to my nightclub and enjoy myself? After the nightclub, I knew I could not go back home. That night, they will kill me. What I'll do, I'll go to a friend's place. Some of them has boys' quarters or whatsoever. We go and sleep. When I come back home, I knew I'm preparing myself for the punishment. But when I come, my father will ask me, where did you sleep? I slept in a friend's place, but do you know I could not tell my father I slept in a friend's place? No. I would say I slept in a hotel. The reason I said that was because if I just mention a friend's place, that same moment, my father goes there, and it will be problem between the... In fact, both parents, they'll kill us. So I said, let me take everything. Let me take the shock alone. I said, I slept in a hotel. You cannot go to a hotel to talk to anybody. You see, let me tell you something. But the treatment I had after that, I learned a lesson. Every single thing was cut off. Whether school or allowance or anything, I didn't have anything and nothing. In fact, I was like a prisoner in the house. Freedom that I thought I had was taken away from me. And it took me that I start to do a particular job that I never wanted to do. You had a building, I had to go and take the foundation. Whether I like it or not, I must do it. When I started it, I thought it's a joke, I thought it's playing. But no, it was serious. And before I knew it, I was into it. You see, when I look up, when I think about it, I never knew this man was preparing me for something. As God had it, or whatever happened, he died. I was a young man at 21. or 22. I had to fend for myself. Now, if I had everything, it would have been very difficult. But he had just taught me a lesson. Sometimes we look at fathers and we say, this man was a tyrant. He did this, he did that. But when we look at your life, we discover that if he was not so hard, he would have gone to another dimension. Sometimes I sit with some of my friends that we used to go out and do those things. We remember our parents and we say, wow, God blessed us to have fathers like that. But at that time, we do not like them. We love better mothers. Of course, they could listen to us. They would still pamper us. Fathers never did. Now, the single thing about this is this. Please, try as much as possible to be in the life of your child. Please, ladies, if a man wants to be in the life of his child, give that person access. If you love that child, all these things that you do, women, you love your children. There's no doubt about it. But you see that love? Sometimes we mistake that love for something else. We look at it differently. We feel by loving our child, we have to provide everything for that child. That is love. But providing everything for a child is not love. Sometimes, like in Belgium, there's a rule that at 15, the child can walk. Some parents don't allow their children to walk at 15. They say, no, they are so small. But you see, allow them to walk at that age. In fact, 15, you move with them, look for a job. Let them have it. Let them do it. You are training them to be somebody tomorrow. Don't just sit and they move around. Before you know, they start moving with bad children. Gen Z generation, we have to understand that there's internet. We do not have internet. Now these children are exposed to things that you cannot even believe. That is why you need to be in your life. You need to be there. If you are not there, it's difficult for them. Don't think that they will be happy with you when you discipline them. Nobody likes discipline. We forgot to understand that we were children too. We never loved discipline. We did not like it. But we now know that it shaped us. Don't discard information given to you by friends or family members. Some might be erroneous, yes, but take time to look at what they say. Take time. If they tell you that we have been seeing your child in this particular direction, your daughter is going to this place, take your time. Try to investigate. We believe we can trust our children, but the thing that we fail to understand is this. Each time they leave home and go to school, you are not there. What they do with their telephones, you don't even know. The calls they make, the people that they meet, you do not know. Especially this time of the world where everybody is working. You go to work, you're coming back at 6 p.m., you don't even know the activities of your child. You go to work, you come back, you don't know anything about your child. There is no time for you to stand to think about your child. What is he doing? What type of friends do they have? You don't. All what you see is they are going to school. Maybe they come with their report card is good and say, wow, you passed your exam. That's what we see. But that is not life. The real life is out there. Meeting people. The challenges that you have to face every day. The real life would be when they move and they have to go to the university. When you've not taught them how to cook. When you've not taught them how to clean. When you've not taught anything how to do shopping. They don't know anything. And they have to go to university where they have to stay alone. At that point, they need people. That is when they start having friends. Friends that will tell, let's go to this restaurant. Friends that will tell, let's go to the nightclub. At that time, they need it because, you see, they do not have the ability to do these things. They are forced to make friends because they don't know how to cook. They are forced to go to places because they actually do not know what to do. They are forced to go to and spend money every minute they cannot save because they do not have the ability. You never taught them how to save. Before you know it, they're into addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, whatever addiction they have, they become addicted. Go now to Africa. I was counseling somebody from Sierra Leone. This addiction, that one was drug addiction. It's rampant in Sierra Leone, rampant in Cameroon, Nigeria. Young children. All of them, they're into one way or the other, they're into addiction. And everybody now wants fast money. What has become of our society is because now, the idea that we had when we were growing up, where parenting is done by community, now parenting has become the issue of an individual, of a particular household. Now, that household I'm talking, the father and mother, now, that's where parenting ends. We've forgotten about the society that used to help us to bring up our children. It's no longer that way, which is difficult and is a hard pill to swallow. Things are happening now. Parents need to sit up. This lady was lucky because there's one thing she did. The Bible says, bring up the child in the way of the Lord, and it will never depart from that child. What they had instilled in that child is love, the love of Jesus, the love of Yeshua, the love of Yahweh. So at one point in time, that child still had something within him. Love. It was hidden. It was hidden. But it is there. You see, the first 6 years of a child's life is very important. What you instill in that child stays there. Go down to 12. From 12, they take their own decisions, they make their own decisions. But every decision that they take from 0 to 12, you are the one that makes decisions for them. You, the parents. So their choices belongs to you. Try to go back there and bring your child in that way of the Lord. You understand that will be easy for that child to come out of every single addiction that they have. Because one thing I want us to understand is this. As this addiction starts from a lack. In this case, it was grief, love. Be very careful. People grieve differently. You meet some children that they take substance, hard substance. Go there and find out why did they start it? How come they started it? Sometimes we say friends. But how come a friend will influence your child? Why is it not the other way around? Why is it not your child influencing another person's child? Why must it be yours influencing your own, being influenced by others? That's what we need to ask ourselves. The way you bring up a child matters. You see, children need both parents. Mother plays an important role in a child's life. Father also has his own, very important. A mother cannot play the role of a father. A father cannot play the role of a mother. Let's not get it all twisted. What you tell your child matters. Your child sees the father as a hero, sees the mother as a hero. But you destroy their ego, you destroy their thought by saying nasty things about their parents. If you want your child to grow up well, stop telling them tales about their father or their mother that is bad. Stop it. Even if that man is a bad man, even if that mother mother is a bad woman. But let me tell you something. You see them as bad. It is your relationship with them, not their relationship with their child. They might not like you, but it doesn't mean they will not like their own child. You have disagreement on something, but they have not had that disagreement with their child. We should stop shifting these things and allow these children to enjoy life fully, how they are supposed to enjoy. Enjoy the love of a mother, enjoy the love of a father. They need it. If not, we see all these addictions that are coming every day in our society. Your child will be part of it, whether we like it or not. Your child will be it. You might not see today a woman, you raise a male child. That male child has nothing to do with the father. How do you expect that particular child to get married tomorrow and be a husband or be a good father to the child when he has not seen anything concerning a man? He doesn't know anything about a man. Things that he can see from the father, things that the father will tell him. Or you have a male mentor that the child looks up to as a father that can mold him. For those that their fathers don't want to be around, choose another man, a male figure that is upright, that can stand, and your children can come to them and confide. They need that. They need that balance. Because you can also give birth, and before 1 or 2 years, you lost your husband. That child doesn't have a father. Yet, you need somebody, a mentor, that child will see as a father, to groom that boy, to groom that girl. A girl needs a father's love. They just need that cuddling from their father. Know that this is my king. They need it. Sometimes we need to look at these things. We love our children, yes. We do. But we see that love? Love is sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. There are sacrifices you need to make. That young man became a very good man after that. He understood. The gambling debt was paid off. Good enough. A friend came and rescued them. The father's friend that had the business, that he had a business dealing with the father a long time ago. The wife did not even know. All of a sudden, the man came and gave them a lot of money, that he had a deal with the father, and the business paid off. Shares for some companies that he bought, the father gave him money to buy. So he came and gave the money, and they decided that they would use the money and pay the gambling loan. This guy finally took up the activities of his father, decided to go to school, concentrate on school. Now I'm talking now. He's doing extremely well. He has taken up the activities of his father, the businesses that the father left, and everything is fine. The mother is very happy. The mother also has gone by, reconciled with friends that told her things that she never wanted to listen, reconcile with the family. And of course, they do understand. But it's a lesson that she learned. She came to me and said, if not of you, things would have been bad. I realized that I did not raise up my child well. I realized that I was so emotional when it comes to my child. My husband used to be very hard. My child, I did not even know that my child is grieving the father like that, because he was always fighting with the father. I didn't know that their love was strong. I told her that your son fights with their father. It is true. Every male child does. But they know deep down that what the father is doing is protecting them. They know. It's just that they want to get their way. So don't underestimate the love these children, they have for their father. These boys, they love their father so much. But they must fight with their father because they want their way. They want things their own way. So they will not allow their father. That's why they fight. But it doesn't mean they don't love their father. It doesn't mean they don't understand the values that the father wants to instill in them. Sometimes we forget about this. We do not know that children, they might say, I hate my father. But when they sleep, they know that this thing that their father did, my father is just protecting me. Think about it. We all have been children. We all have hated our fathers at one point in time in our life because of discipline. But look at us today. Every minute we think of the things that our father did. Was it hatred? It was not. There's a deeper love within it that sometimes we don't see. Sometimes when I look at it, especially women look at your child and say, but the child doesn't like the father. He doesn't like the father. He doesn't like the father. That's what you talk. That's what you think. But that's not what is inside. What the child sees is different. And sometimes at the later stage of life, that child will go closer to the father. You will not even believe why. You thought that they could not even see each other. That was not it. I just want us to learn from this. Raise our children differently. If you are part of it, adjust. Your children will not like the adjustment. I bet you. But you have to do that. Please. Don't think if you discipline somebody, people love discipline. Children never no, there's no child that loves discipline. But they know. Always talk to them. Look at their activities. When they have an addiction, do not say no. When people talk to you, make sure you go underneath to find out what is happening. Try not to find the reason. If you cannot, contact a therapist like myself. You have a solution. This woman did. She had a solution. Your solution might be closer to you, but you don't see it. Familiarity too is something that kills. Because I'm familiar to you, you know me very well, you have seen me a long time, you know this Jude a long time ago, you know this Keboma, you know about him, and then you take it for a ride. All of us do sometimes, but don't. Each and every one of us have a gift. But until you find out your gift and you develop that gift, you don't know what you are capable of. I got my niche. I followed my dream. And that is what God wants me to do. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Those who recognize it will do. Those who do not, it's left to them. I thank you guys. Maureen, thanks for always being there. Reka, you are there. Ruka, you are there. Thank you. A lot of you, Malanfe, you are welcome. Grand Eta, Grand William, thank you very much for being there. Wow. Madam Essembio, you are there. I see you. God bless you for watching. God bless everyone for watching. And may God bless us all. It's been a wonderful day.